someone proposed to us, an artist, to do a bronze statue of Robin and permanently put it there.
Oh, cool.
And the idea being that if you feel alone, or you can go sit next to him.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Guys, good to see you again.
Good to see you too, man.
I feel like every time you guys are in a movie together, whether it's Good Will Hunting or the Ocean's films or Interstellar, Oppenheimer, or this film, it's always a 4-star movie. And I'm being honest when I say that. So with that idea in mind, what is a movie from the career of the person sitting next to you that you're not in, that if you're being honest, it would have been better if you were in it?
Oh, shoot. It's The Talented Mr. Ripley. I don't know, I wouldn't have been better than Jude Law.
Not with that attitude.
That's right. That's right. Thank you. Thank you for saying it.
I love that correction.
Think it right into existence.
Yeah, damn, okay.
I don't know that there's any movie that I could have done better than Casey, but that would have been better with me in it.
Not with that attitude.
This is feeling good.
I could have done a little part in The Departed, and maybe would have made a small improvement if I replaced like one of the extras. So the movie overall would have been better, if that's the question.
There you go.
It would have won Best Picture twice. They would have won Best, and then they would have given him a second one. You guys have filmed obviously so many movies here in Boston, but what I think is interesting is that you filmed them all at different points of your careers, whether it's Good Will Hunting or Gone Baby Gone, which is a masterpiece, or The Departed or this film. I'm curious how Boston fans interacted with you and spoke with you differently on each of those films because you were at different levels of fame at different parts of your career.
Well, yeah, Good Will Hunting, nobody knew who the hell we were, so nobody bothered us at all. Nobody ever said anything to us. But I remember shooting in the park with Robin, though, and it was, at the time, it was so funny because he was like the most famous guy in the world, but what people would shout was, "Mork! Mork!" I'm like, this guy is, Mrs. Doubtfire. He's been nominated for however many Oscars, and like they're screaming out the sitcom name.
And he's acting in the role that will win him the Oscar.
Well, we didn't know that, but yeah, we knew he was doing a hell of a job.
Also, there were movies made in Boston in the 70s. There was The Verdict. There was a few like big movies made here, and then none. Like really not that many. And we know because when we were little kids, sometimes we'd get to be extras in the background of whatever came to town because my mother's best friend was a casting director. So we were pretty aware of like what movies were here in Boston, and there weren't that many, 80s and 90s. And then Massachusetts started to build its own film infrastructure, and so then there are a lot of movies here.
It's a much more common thing to see now, and I think people are used to it.
Yeah.
They're more culturated to kind of, whereas it was, when we did Goodwill, it was like, what the hell is going on there? What are all these trucks? Yeah.
Right. You mentioned the park, so I would love to show you because just a couple of blocks away is the filming of one of my favorite scenes of all time. So I woke up this morning and walked over to the bench because I just had to be there.
Who took that picture for you?
I asked a couple who was sitting there to ruin their perfect couple moment to move. And I said, I'm interviewing Casey Affleck and Matt Damon today. Would you guys take a... and I'd love to know what you remember about shooting that scene that day because...
I remember everything about it. I mean, Robin was like off book in pre-production, which was nuts because that monologue was like 2 pages long. And I don't say anything in that scene, just at the very top, and then he goes into that thing. And I remember rehearsing it with him, and I was off book because we wrote it, but he just put his script down, and we were at the Four Seasons Hotel just right over there in a rehearsal room. And Ben and I kind of looked at each other like, this is gonna be amazing. So when we shot it, I just remember he was so locked in, and he didn't require a lot of takes. I mean, he just, he did it until, Gus was happy after 2 or 3, and I think Robin always liked to do more. And so he probably did it 7 or 8 times, but it was just so good. It was like, so I do remember that day really, really well.
Did you have that bench in mind?
No,
Gus found
it. We knew we were sitting in the park, in the Commons, but we didn't know, Gus, there's the line about the swan boats, so we needed the swan boats.
Right,
at the top, so we knew we were sitting on looking at the water, but didn't know.
No
where.
spring. We shot it around St. Patrick's Day, so
We shot the pre-production stuff on St. Patrick's Day,
I know,
and
but
then
it was-
it was like May.
yeah, May. Spring.
Someone wrote on the bench, "Your move, Chief."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Here's a quick thing. I didn't know if I told you this. We just, I don't know if it'll happen, but I really hope it does. Someone proposed to us, an artist, to do a bronze statue of Robin and permanently put it there.
Oh, that's cool.
And the idea being that if you feel alone, or you can go sit next to him.
Oh, that's nice.
Which I think is the coolest idea. It would be like the most beautiful installation and like such a tribute to that guy
Yeah,
who I
for
think
sure.
would have loved that, So anyway, I just heard about this like a month ago. But
I just got chills.
I know, me too. When I heard about it, I really hope it comes to pass. I hope they let this artist do it because it would be pretty cool.
I don't have time to tell you the story, but one of the kindest thing anyone have ever done to me on a junket was Robin Williams.
I bet.
He was the genuinely nicest man.
He
I've ever
really
met
was.
in my
Yeah,
life.
he really.
They're giving me. I got 10,000 more questions, but I love you guys so much, and seriously, thank you. We've been doing this a long time, and I really appreciate you always being so kind to me. So seriously,
Thanks,
really,
man.
really.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.